Helen.
Hi, Rob. We're on the downhill. We're halfway through this term.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
How's life going at your school? Hard-time, full-time worker?
It's quite fabulous. We're in term 3 with all the projects, and I've seen such cool integrated projects this term, and some fabulous PBL stuff for English.
Awesome.
What have you been up
Awesome.
to?
So I went to a school last week
Lovely.
to introduce, or just to facilitate the use of our grade 6 fairy tale PBL.
Ooh.
And besides the fact that they loved it, and as I went through the unit, I kept on saying things like, well, if you don't know what the modernization is in Shrek, then I've given it to you as a resource, and I got it from ChatGPT. And then I'd say, and I got this resource from Diffit. And they said, well, what are you talking about? And so they said, please, will you come back and do a talk? And say, hello, here's your Diffit talk for you.
So lucky. But you know, that whole thing about AI, it's coming into our space as teachers, and I think as coaching the class, we can really facilitate a good discussion and sort of structure a discussion at schools to help you move there, because we really have to start going there.
It's a very, very necessary discussion that staff need to have as a group, because it's happening, like it or not.
Yes.
And Matt sent this out the other day, and I did include it in our newsletter. If you don't get our newsletter, email us and we'll add you to the list. But he said 10 questions that we should be discussing. And I think that is absolutely critical.
Well, so what are these questions all about?
So, let's just look at some of them. What AI-related student behavior do we want to avoid? Well, we want them to continue thinking.
Yes.
And we want to continue teaching skills.
Yes, totally. And we want them to be exercising those little brains.
So yes, you are still, aren't you, if you use it correctly. But what's correctly?
Yeah.
So how can and should students be using it responsibly? Well, firstly, you must reference it. If you've used it, you must own up to it and reference it. Okay?
And I also think I told my class the other day we were using it for something, and I said, it's like going to sports practice and sitting on the side of the field and expecting everybody else to be doing the exercise, and then you are benefiting. You can't. AI is the same. You've got to be doing, it's a tool, you've got to be doing your own exercise of your brain.
So you can use it to find a seed of information, or to spark, or as you were saying, if you've developed a character of a leopard, you can expand, get ideas, but then you're going to make it your own. You're going to write it and make it your own.
Totally.
And what skills in general and AI related will students need to prepare for the future?
Well, the future's here already. A year ago, we hadn't even thought about ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And now we already, as teachers, are relying on it as a day-to-day tool.
And that's the big point that Matt says. If we're using it, why can't the kids use it?
Totally.
And I'm afraid I'm using it more and more and more.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to go through this. We just can't. But how could the use of AI be harmful for students?
I think number 7 is more important. How could it be harmful if students don't use AI? This is the world they're growing up in. It's not going away.
And when they reach the business world one day and you've used it and I haven't, who's going to seem silly? So this is what the Diffit, we're going to, so let's launch straight into an AI tool, and why not? Another one that we're using is called Diffit. And you will find it, just type Diffit and you will get there. It's going to look something like this. I would log in, otherwise you don't get the full use of it.
Yeah.
And you log in with Google. And we're going to use Coach in the Class to log in, and she or we have been in before, so it should recognize us.
Yeah.
And it says, well, let's go. Welcome. And it says, what do you want to search? What do you want to do now?
I love that it says literally anything.
Yeah. And the thing is, they've got this here. So I'm busy writing a unit for grade 7. So I wanted it grade 7 level.
Okay.
And hopefully what I've got in here is going to work. Oh.
Yes, perfect.
Okay. So here's something that I've actually done before, and it doesn't mind this grammar error at all.
Yeah. Okay,
and
cool.
It doesn't. It'll pick it all up, and I'm going to say generate response. And now I've taken from the curriculum all the aspects of the solar system, Earth, revolution, and that's what I typed in there.
Okay, so all those little little bitties that you find in the
asking you to teach in the document. I've taken them, I put them into a little sentence and asked it to write me a piece on the Earth with the sun and the moon and the relationship. So it says the relationship between the sun, the Earth, and the moon is a complex dance, and it's going to explain it all to you.
Oh, wow. And it's such a short piece.
Yes. And it's
a perfect thing.
Exactly. And then it offers the summary. So what it said in here, probably
wow. 3 main points.
The Earth rotates on its own axis, causing day. The Earth revolves around the sun, causing seasons. And the moon and the sun's gravitational pull causes the tides.
3 main points. Off you go.
How's that?
Amazing.
Then it gives you a vocabulary section.
Wow, like a word bank.
Rotation, what is revolve, all of that.
Amazing.
All right. And then it gives you multiple choice questions. So here I would pull this straight into a Kahoot and have a lot of fun.
So you could do this for 4 or 5 little sections, collect maybe 15 questions.
Exactly.
So over 5 sections.
Notice it only gives you 3 because it doesn't think you want more. But if you go here and you say add questions, how many? Well, pretend I want 5 questions. I'm going to ask it to add 2 more, generate. And now it's going to add. And I've asked it to add up to 10 questions.
Wow.
And it'll give me, there's my 5 questions from this reference piece of information.
Unbelievable.
How cool is that?
Oh, Helen, go up at the top there. I can keep going. I can see it says here, show sources.
Awesome. And you see, isn't that so important?
Yes.
Because here we can actually see where, and now look at this. Look at this.
Wow.
And that is important. They're all the sources that it's used.
So if I like this thing, I might go to one of those sources,
exactly,
the teacher, and go and dive in a bit more.
100%.
I love that.
So how cool is this? And this is me using it. And I also like this section here. So there are
wow.
short questions, but I love this. How does the rotation of the Earth affect your daily life?
Fabulous question.
There are some of them are not so cool, but that's really great because it's when I go to sleep, when I wake up, the seasons.
Unbelievable.
In what ways do you see the changing seasons impact your surroundings?
Brilliant.
Just lovely, like we use these as hook questions, I suppose.
Yes.
And so you can see that this Diffit is going to change the way that we think in schools.
And also just the way we engage with material, because before it's funny, the evolution. We've moved from the teacher being the font of all knowledge to Google being the font of all knowledge. And now we have AI that can search Google or wherever far quicker than we could ever do.
And of course, it's up to the date knowledge. Those textbooks that were printed 15 years ago are dealing with the flood that happened when Pa fell off the bus instead of last year's Natal floods.
And you know what I love as well? Again, teachers that maybe are new teachers or not confident in a subject area or whatever, they can use this as a tool to upskill themselves and make sure that they're delivering good stuff to their kids.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love this. I am hooked. I need to go now to go and play on Diffit.
So definitely go and try Diffit, teachers. It might just save you a lot of time in prep.
Have a great week or 2, and we'll see you soon.